Hello, Ohana. Soul Dr. Nick here. And it is Friday, January 24th, 2025, 5:55 in the morning. And I am here with you, Daily Musings, reminding you that this is not something that you'll probably want to watch. So, other videos, much more targeted. And if you want to be with my daily musings and ramblings, then stick around. And stick around with me wearing these beautiful new blue light blockers. I was going to say these ridiculous looking things initially, and then I realized, why am I judging myself just because I'm trying something new and different? Because that way I can turn on the lights and be able to record myself and not get impacted by all the blue light. And these were gifted to me by my beloved, and she's been looking into all these different ways of experiencing health and what may be contributing to dis-ease and the current state of our lighting technology and flickering and blue light definitely affecting the brain differently and not enough natural sunlight. And so I'm grateful. So every morning when I'm here, I put on the propane fireplace and enjoy the fire and try to minimize the amount of external light, even though I do have some screens that I'm using to record this and other things. And now that I've got these blockers, you may see them more often. Especially in these musing videos where it's like, you know what? If no one watches it, fan-frickin-tastic. Because that's part of what I'm practicing is building my own personal brand, learning how better to speak off the cuff. And people have been commenting before, it's like, how did you know how to say that? It's like, I didn't. And I'm really well practiced. And I've been in many situations. And I've read so much. Like, I've been reading and listening a lot, consuming, and then taking more and more time now to contemplate and create. And the consuming part is looking at the sovereign child, how to raise a child with sovereignty with their own inner compass and guidance. And it's very different from the way I was raised, with patterning, with politeness, with this is how to do things, this is how you're going to succeed. And leaning in on the child's ability to realize and know and have their own innate wisdom. How do they want to choose to succeed? How do they want to choose to live? And giving the support to keep them safe, but aside from that safety, allowing some freedom. And what I recognize my piece I want is giving them the containers and constraints so that in our modern world with all of these things that are here to try to draw their attention, not letting that overtake inner impulses and desires. So not being like, oh, I'm going to put you in the grocery store and you pick anything you want because there's so many shiny objects. But let's take you to this farmer's market. You can have anything you want. Amazing, great choices, all natural, fantastic. And how do I provide more of that? And then in due time, and it doesn't mean we avoid those places altogether, but it's much more of a controlled environment there. And I'm looking more and more and really grateful for my beloved because we keep looking at how do we create a healthier and safer environment? How do we use products which are less toxic, which I forgot. Like when I was younger, I used Bounce sheets, I used Tide, I used regular detergent, I used all the stuff that was marketed as necessary. And it's not that it doesn't work, because let's be honest, that shit works. But what is the cost benefit? What is the cost of having these chemicals that are always around you all the time, irritating the skin? And I recognize there's so much more autoimmune, allergic kind of reactions when I'm around that. And now that I have less of that in my life, life just feels easier. And in spite of that, let's be clear, right now I'm about to go through a new kind of cleanse or detox because my own energy level, chi, life force, however you want to call it, feels a little bit on the lower side. And I could judge myself saying, what did I do wrong versus this is just my body reminding me, how do I take care of it better? And probably part of it is I've, in a way, both A, overextended myself, so trying to do too much in different ways, not realizing that. But B, I look at it now more as what is the preparation that I want for the future self that I want to become? Because this year, especially with launching Ohana Sage, with our soul immersion programs, with everything else, there's going to be some fullness to it. And the version of me that came before would probably feel overwhelmed by it. And what I'm practicing is how do I actually have more tools in the tool belt so I'm ready for whatever wants to come, what I want to create. And I want to create the ability to experience more in a way, be really present with my family when I'm there and really present with my clients when I'm there, and being able to switch back and forth more clearly and having the capacity to do it in a shorter period of time when I choose. And I often say this, it's like, it used to be if I was depressed or stuck or overwhelmed, that could last weeks to months to years. And then it got down to days. And now hopefully it's hours to days. And sometimes even it's quicker than that when I'm lucky. It's not all the time though. And that's the wisdom. And then today, as I was listening to Sovereign Child, it was great because they were talking about resilience. And I've thought about that. Like if you raise someone who's outside of the normal school system, outside of getting bullied and all that stuff, would they just turn into someone who's not resilient? And the idea is resilience is built from repeated painful interactions versus the most resilient person is someone who has such a clear belief in what they want or desire to do that they're able to see that through regardless of what's going on around them. And my reminder is, whether it's hearing, I can't remember her name, but she was in Auschwitz in the concentration camp, and she's just had the belief that when she was playing her violin or dancing, that she was doing that wherever she wanted to be. She could actually be somewhere else at the same time. And then I look at some of the people that, are more common that we talk about these days, whether it's like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or even Donald Trump. And they have such a belief in what they're doing that they have the resilience to withstand whatever's coming their way, because regardless if you agree with them or not, and you can go to Mahatma Gandhi or Mandela or Mother Teresa, whether you agree with what they're doing or not, they agree with themselves so much that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going on around them. It doesn't matter the impossibility of what they're trying to do. And that's what I really appreciate. And regardless of how villainous or how heroic you think their mission may be, that's part of it, to be able to see and tap into that piece of resilience. And that's what I'm going to start looking into for my own family, my own child, myself. As I get more and more clear on who I am, what I want to serve, it allows me more capacity to withstand whatever comes up, because the more visible I become, I imagine there's going to be more people who disagree. And it's okay that they disagree. Can I be with disagreement? So that's the piece about the Sovereign Child. And then I was also listening to Daniel Priestley and The Diary of the CEO and learning about personal brand and how to create enough meaningful content over enough interactions so that I can create relationships with people who want to find me without actually having to be there. And I appreciate that, because I more and more can see that the ones who want to work with me, I can serve them. And how do I reach out without having to be there all the time? While at the same time, right now, the main product I'm developing is super high touch point, one-on-one, kind of over a longer period of time. And I want that. I want to explore that. And in parallel, I want to explore this, where I can record things and have it be out there. And whoever needs to or wants to find it, it will serve them. Because I've received that benefit too. How many podcasts have I listened to? How many stories have I read? How many books have I read where the author didn't need to be there to tell me the story? And that's the beauty of today. I have access to so many master storytellers, whereas before, you had to wait for the storyteller to come to you. The difference there, though, is that there's such a presence and there's such a group belonging. And that's what they said before. I remember when I was in high school, the Friends episodes that dropped, everyone knew them at the time they were dropped because you were all watching them in the same time, in real time. There weren't the DVD sets or anything else either. And so now, who knows who's listening to what, watching what, doing what. So, and then I'm about to embark on that cleanse. And one of the big things is juicing. So I'm looking into this amazing automatic juicer from Nama and looking forward to actually finding a way to get one soon. It's a little pricier than I'd like to spend on that. And all these are tools for health. So how do we actually create that? And there's so many other pieces, whether it's saunas, whether it's PMF mats. It's like, how do I take it one step at a time and actually integrate it into my life? And one of the things that is the least likely is the regular juicing. And I think there's a power to that. There's a desire to get into that first versus all the other modalities, which are easier for me. Like Asana, way easier for me in a way. And then with these daily musings, it's my own practice. I record myself beforehand, musing so that I can actually get a little bit more clarity on what I want to muse here. And that may be surprising given all the different directions I go. And then today, one of the things I really realized is how do I actually stick to the commitment? Because there's definitely a part that's like, I'm tired, I just want to lie down and rest some more. And I want to honor that part of myself that wants to rest. And I want to honor that part that has the capacity to go through. So still did the morning enema and then came over here and still doing the recording first. And then after this, whatever I want to do. And then noticing over and over again how many people I'm letting down every day. Because there's so many messages, so many replies, so many things that I'm like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. And letting it go. One step at a time, inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, life's hard. Thank you, Kyle Kingsbury, for really dropping that in over and over again so that now it's just part of my own beingness that I can always have that going on in my head. And thank you for all the affirmations. Today is going to be a wunderbar day. It's going to be an awesome day. So I look forward to you having awesomeness, me having awesomeness, the world having awesomeness. It's in balance. And the awesomeness lies in just realizing that it's in balance and enjoying it. All right. Lots of love. Ciao for now.